muted until the end. We'll open it up for questions and answer anything related to the topic or related to Sage 100 contractors. Welcome. At the end, questions for me or our guest speaker today. So we'll go ahead and get started. This week we're continuing with a Sage 100 contractor topic. However, much of what we'll be talking about here is also relevant to Sage 300 CRE as well. So if there are any 300 users, contact me. There's just a slight variation in the capabilities and the integrations that we're talking about today. But I'm happy to go over that in a more tailored discussion. So again, a variety of different folks here today. So welcome to everyone. Join us here every Wednesday at 10 a.m. For resources, tips, and Q&A. Open to clients and anyone out there related to construction accounting, any professionals out there. So I'm Leilani Evans, Construction Software Sales Associate at TAG. We are a certified Sage reseller, and we specialize in construction accounting and technology. And today we're going to also be featuring in depth a friend and partner of ours with hh2. Kevin Hadley has been serving our customers for years with field solutions. So I'll keep it brief, and in a few minutes I'll hand it over to Kevin, where he can talk to you a little bit about how he can enhance your experience with Sage 100 Contractor. Okay, so this topic for today will cover a variety of different points. So if your organization is lacking methods for accurate and timely communication between the field and the back office, we'll hit on those pain points and how Sage Field Operations and other applications out there can bridge that gap. We want you to get thinking about maximizing your resources. So whether through one of our Sage products like Sage Field Ops or Construction Project Center, or that of another third-party vendor out there, we just want you to get away from relying on a single sheet of paper being shuffled from job site to work truck and then from desk to desk. So I understand that the idea of wanting to protect yourself from compliance issues by requiring a signature can be really important and something that you want to weigh out. But digital signatures are now a big piece of the functionality that you get with these digital timekeeping solutions. So that's something that definitely Sage Service Operations and Field Operations can accommodate. I know there are many other solutions out there too. So we'll talk about all of those different things, including the new integration that's available with Procore. So for a long time, Procore was only integrating with 300 CRE. It's now available with 100 Contractor, and that new functionality is something that Kevin will also discuss for you later in this presentation. So, okay, let's talk about project management functionality with Sage Field Ops. You have the capability to enter in change orders, purchase orders, daily field reports, and more. So this functionality will improve efficiency by providing teams with access to critical project information anytime, anywhere. So it's a very handy solution. I would encourage you to think about this if you're doing things the old school way, absolutely, or if you just want to explore the functionality, I'm happy to help you with this. So we'll move on and talk a little bit about the service components of the solution. So Sage Service Operations will allow you to easily manage and view your resources at any given time, so you can control labor costs and then also dispatch your workforce with ease. Whether we're talking about job assignments or service calls, Sage Field Operations and Service Operations will allow you to manage all of the scheduling that may occur on a day-to-day basis. So you have a service dashboard with a snapshot of everything going on right at your fingertips. So you can easily schedule your employees, your equipment, and different subcontractors that will be on the job using a digital dispatch board. It's quite a handy feature. So again, if you'd like more information, you can go a little bit more in depth. I want to give Kevin some time to talk a little bit about the other stuff going on. So absolutely, timekeeping is a huge part of this solution. There's quite a bit in terms of time review, approval, again, digital signature. So that's something that is a big piece of it. Now, Sage Construction Project Center is another solution similar to field operations and service operations, where it is a web-based, mobile-friendly project management platform. This application, it's a true collaboration tool for everyone on the project, from architects to owners, subcontractors to project managers. So team members can easily share and track all of the information and communications on a project, such as documents, budgets, punch lists, change orders, photos, blueprints, emails, the list goes on and on. So it's also a subscription-based product under the software as a service model. Again, if you'd like more information about this, I can absolutely help you. So with that, I will go ahead and hand it off to Kevin, again, longtime service provider that we've been talking with to help our customers for many years. So I'll hand it over. Kevin, go ahead and take it over.
All right, very good. Well, thank you very much, Leilani, for the introduction. And for all of you who have joined this afternoon, or actually this morning, we appreciate each of you joining. Again, my name is Kevin Hadley. I'm with hh2. I'm the VP of Sales here. I've been with the company for about 12 years, and we've been serving the Sage community for well over a decade. And as Leilani mentioned, we are a Sage third-party developer. And so we've been given access to various information and data within Sage, and we've been syncing with both Sage 300 CRE and Sage 100 for quite some time. Let's go ahead and go to the next slide. We'll talk a little bit about one of the reasons Leilani wanted me to address the webinar today was to talk a little bit about the synchronization between Sage and Procore. Now, some of you who may have joined are Sage 300 customers, possibly, and you may have known that we've been syncing with Sage 300 CRE and Procore for the last couple of years. Well, at the last Procore Groundbreak conference, they introduced the new partnership or new synchronization with Sage 100. And we are rapidly gaining a lot of Sage 100 customers that are using the hh2 synchronization client with Procore. And you may ask, well, why didn't Procore do it themselves? And there's a number of reasons for that, but the main reason is they teamed up with hh2 because we're one of the best at synchronizing data, both from Procore, because we had a relationship there as well, and of course we already had a relationship with Sage as a third-party developer. So we teamed up with both companies. We actually have a 5-year contract in place with both Sage and Procore, and they also provide us some additional APIs that others don't really have access to because of that synchronization or that contract that we have in place. So again, we do have a number of companies that are, especially Sage 100, that are signing up for it now. Let's go to the next slide and talk a little bit about what is synchronizing back and forth. And I know this slide is a little bit busy for you, but what you're seeing on the right-hand side, of course, is Sage. And what we're specifying on this slide is these are items that we're actually pushing to Procore from Sage. Okay, so anything that you see pointed to the right over to Procore, those are items that, using our synchronization client, we're syncing directly into Procore. When you're seeing items syncing back or pointing to the left and they are orange, that's the Procore items that you can set up within Procore that actually sync back into Sage. Okay, so again, there's some bi-directional synchronization going on. If you want more detail and you're looking at Procore, the best people to talk to are your Procore representatives. They can show you that information in depth. At hh2, we really don't sell the synchronization. That is actually sold directly by Procore, and then Procore, installs our synchronization client on your servers there. So hopefully that gives you a good idea. You can see there is a lot of data going back and forth. And again, some of the new fun stuff that we've just added barely to the synchronization is syncing over those owner contracts and the prime contract information from Sage, budget change orders, etc. So a lot of nice stuff that we sync to and from. But again, if you're interested in that, definitely talk to your Procore rep. So again, we provide that. Let's go on to the next slide and talk a little bit more. I know Leilani mentioned that in addition to what she presented earlier with the Sage service operations and the Sage field operations, hh2, as mentioned, we've been in the construction industry for quite some time. Again, well over a decade. We were actually born out of a general contractor here in the state of Utah. We are a fully hosted cloud solution, and that's important to kind of understand. A lot of people, when we first started out, were a little bit afraid of the cloud. What was the cloud, and where is my data, and where does it reside, and how is it protected, etc. Well, we're finding more and more people that are comfortable with the cloud and comfortable with their data, and so it's not an on-premise software. And the nice thing about doing things within the cloud is, one, we can really develop very rapidly and push out updates instantly across our entire database. So as we fix bugs, as we deploy new features and functionality in the system, we don't have to wait for a yearly update. We don't have to send you something to install. We just update your hh2 site to the latest version with those features and functionality, and it's all done in the background. So web fully hosted cloud-based software is really where everything is going instead of on the install. A couple of other things to note on this screen. We highlighted payroll today. I'll talk a little bit about some of the other products, but please know that in our software, you can be doing your time recording, your job costing of your time, both on the web, on any laptop, desktop, computer, using a web browser from anywhere. And also we support tablets and smartphones, okay? And it's not just a web app that you're running on your smartphone or tablet. It's actually an app, a native app, that you would download from the Apple App Store for iOS, of course, and then the Google Play Store for your Android devices. If you have a Windows Surface tablet, of course, you're just going to be using the web browser because of that platform. So anyway, the other nice thing about hh2 is our products can be used offline. So if I'm in an area and I'm job costing my time for my employees, I can do, if I'm using the tablet or the smartphone, I can do this offline. Let's go ahead and go to the next slide and kind of see where we end here, and we'll kind of move forward. So as I mentioned, there are multiple ways of entering time. I can pull up a weekly time card for an individual employee or for a crew. I can code time. I can copy time from one crew member to the entire crew, but there's a host of things that I can do there. The next one over, of course, is the daily time, which we find the majority of our customers like their employees to do, or a foreman. So again, either a foreman can be job costing time for a crew to multiple jobs, multiple cost codes. And then we also have something called record-based. So if I just want to choose a job, choose a cost code, the employee, record hours, I can do it record-based as well, depending on what you guys use. So we don't, as a company, pigeonhole you into one way and only one way of coding time, either in the field or in the home office there. Let's go on to some of the other slides. I just want to make sure we cover some of those. I couldn't remember exactly how many slides I had, so forgive me, Leilani. But But let's talk a little bit about the approval process. So one of the other reasons why hh2 has quickly become the #1 time entry within the Sage community is we have a lot of customization that's available in our software. Again, we have multiple levels of approval that you can do. I'm showing a couple levels, or at least a couple of examples here on this slide, meaning maybe I'm going from an employee or a crew manager to the project manager to payroll. And then possibly I might have another group or crew set up where I want it to go from the employee to his manager or a foreman or a superintendent, and then to the project manager, and then to payroll. So again, multiple levels of approval, which are very nice to set up. And again, that does not have to be set up for the entire company. I can set up multiple groups or crews. All right, let's go on to the next one, if we can. So some of the other products that we do offer at hh2, these are specific ones that we go into Sage 100. And I know that's kind of where we're focused today, is on the Sage 100 community. So of course we do remote payroll. We also have a field reports product for those companies wanting to do a daily log out at the job site, capturing weather, labor, subcontractors, attachments, meeting notes, etc. Also in field service, we have, again, a system that's very similar to the SSO product. It's called hh2 Field Service. It works with the service receivables module there in Sage 100. And then we have a brand new product that we have just introduced. We have some people that are beta testing it right now in the Sage 300 community, and that is our document flow product. This particular product will allow you to gather invoices remotely, have them pointed to a data folder or an email inbox, or imported directly through a scanner into our system. Allows you to put data on that invoice by putting the header, the information, the job, and then rerouting it or routing it out to your guys in the field. And the guys in the field, typically superintendents or PMs that are out in the field, will receive these invoices and they can job cost and approve those invoices remotely, either using their smartphone, tablet, or the web browser, and then have those routed again through a customizable, what we call a workflow in hh2. So that's what that particular product does. Again, it's right now in beta, but those are some of the other services. Did I have one more screen there, Leilani? Let's see if we can go forward. Okay, those are the other things that you had. Did you want me to cover anything else today, Leilani?
No, I think that's great. We can probably close it up here. If there's one thing that I want everyone to just kind of take away, is that we want to enhance your experience with Sage. We want to reduce your error. We want to cut down your time spent on these things. We want to just reduce costs on liability from any issues with these timekeeping, labor compliance type of problems. And there are so many options, so many different flavors. I know someone at all of these different companies that can help you, whatever flavor might be yours. I would just encourage spending the time to evaluate each one of these. Of course, finding someone that you can trust. Kevin has been an absolute wonderful resource for our customers. People love it. There are, of course, other Sage products that would enhance. So depending on what you're looking for, please come to me. I want to help you and just essentially streamline everything for you and for your team, because it all depends on what your team's going to adopt, what your team's going to actually utilize. And we don't want to waste your time. We want to just make everything easier for you, make your costs more reliable, et cetera, et cetera. We're here for you. So I'll go ahead and open it up for questions at this point. Any questions for me? And any questions for Kevin? So I'm going to unmute Sandy. I'm going to unmute you. I did receive your chat question here. The field report option. Can you take your own form, upload it, and make that available for input? So on the Sage side of things, we do have options to have custom reports. It's not necessarily an upload of your current form that you have. It's a custom form that you would create. There is a custom form tool within the solution that's very easy to use. So it's not too much of a big deal to duplicate what you already have. Kevin, do you have an option to do something like that in your solution?
Yeah, great question. At the present time, no, we don't take anyone's form and upload it to our solution. That's a great question, though. Right now, we have certain tabs that are available. We do have what we call a custom tab, where you have the ability to add custom items to a field report within hh2. But as kind of like you mentioned on the Sage side, it's not going to necessarily just duplicate your form electronically, but we can gather a lot of the same information.
Right, because one of the basic things I'm looking for is for our employees to be able to take that, you know, you have your time card, but then when you have your field report, to be able to report all the equipment that's being used on that job, so that we, you know, can have all of the information in one place in order to have it be ready for billing.
Okay, yeah, can I ask you a quick question?
Sure.
Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about that reporting on the equipment. Are you Sage 100 or Sage 300?
We're 100.
Okay, so Sage 100. And what kind of information are you wanting to gather on that piece of equipment? Are you just wanting to say, I've got it on this job, I've used it on this cost code for 8 hours, like we ran the bulldozer at this job for 8 hours, etc.?
Yes, that's basically what we're looking for, so that, you know, we can bill our client. We do traffic control, so on any given day we'll have additional equipment out there. So we may have 5 or 6 pieces of equipment out there one day, and then the next day we'll have 1 piece of equipment. So our equipment is ever changing, you know, so if we have a daily field report with our equipment on it, would make it really easy.
Okay, yeah, so great question there. So at least on the, sorry, Leilani, I'll just jump in here. Yeah. Within the hh2 solution, yeah, we have a tab actually called equipment, and you can actually copy the same equipment from day to day. But in your case, if you had 8 pieces of equipment one day and then went down to 1 or 2 or 4, whatever, you can delete those even if you rolled those over. So we can make it easy for your guys in the field, and we actually pull those pieces of equipment from Sage, right? So you've got them in there, and then we import the records back into the equipment side of Sage 100. So just FYI, it's called equipment revenue. We don't support equipment cost, but like you said, you're charging that piece of equipment to the job.
Yes.
Okay, and that's kind of what we do as part of our field reports product. And we can actually do it in our remote payroll product, is where we actually push that data in through.
Okay, thank you.
You bet.
Do we have any other questions from anyone? And feel free, I know some people are not joining us by phone, feel free to use the chat box. We would welcome any questions via email, or feel free to call or text me even if you'd like to. Thank you, Kevin, for joining us. I'm happy that you could share all this information and insight. So if anyone would like any other information from hh2, I'm also happy to help facilitate meetings to get you all the information that you're looking for. So just shoot me an email and we'll get you the info that you're looking for. We'll be back here next Wednesday, 10 a.m. For another Sage 100 contractor topic on job costs. So we hope to see you. Thanks so much for joining us. Have a wonderful rest of your week.
Thank you, Leilani. Appreciate the time.
All right.
See ya. Bye-bye.